Welcome everyone to another tutorial here. We're going to be looking at my Buildcraft pipes again, but this time we're going to be looking at the fluid pipe. To start off, we're going to take a look at what you need to do to make pipes. So what you do is you take the item variants of them and you add sealant. So sealant's made in three different ways here. We can either create it from cactus or green dye, which is from smelting cactus. Slime balls can be turned into sealant, or you can take residue, which you get from engines that's run, or when we're going to be looking at oil distilling, you'll get residue from that as well. So it's a good way to make more pipe sealant. So first we'll take a look at extraction pipes, similar to the item pipes that we looked at already. We've got the wooden fluid pipe and the diamond wooden, which are both made by taking the wooden, again with the sealant, and the wooden diamond with the sealant. Now, another thing we're going to look at here for utility is a tank, which is just a glass in a circle like that. So that stores 16 buckets each. So let's take a look at how we activate this. Similar to the item, if we use a pulsar, it will pulse the water over. And similar to the item one, this can be switched which direction it's going with a wrench. Right. As you can see, with a redstone engine, once this gets up to speed, it moves about the same speed as this. Now, the thing we're going to start noticing a difference on is, I need to flip this, sorry. Pumping more energy into it, you can use these other engines to do it. It fills up a little bit faster, not a ton faster, and I'll explain why here in a second. You notice here, combustion engine, we're pumping in more energy, and it's still moving around the same speed. Now, the reason that is these fluid pipes here only move. So I grab this, extracts 0.2 buckets per second. So it can only move 0.2 buckets per second, no matter how much energy I'm pumping into it. So even though I've now got more energy, it's not coming faster. Unlike the items, where the amount of energy you pump into it changes the amount of items it can pump. Alright, well, let's turn these off. So let's look at the wooden diamond pipe. Similar to the item one, you can filter it with liquids. You just use the bucket variant of it. And again, it doesn't consume it, it just does it. So if we come in here and we grab our bucket of water, we can whitelist water, and it'll come in. Or I could blacklist water, and if I blacklist the water, it will not pump it. Right. So you can use these to filter out what liquids are extracted. This works if you've got a tank that's used as a buffer, and different fluids could be in there, stuff like that. Also, we're looking at the diamond filter later on, which we'll go into a little. Now, the nice thing about this is you can pump 1.6 buckets. So this will still move just the same amount, but as soon as I realize that would touch. Obviously, this is moving a lot faster because there's more energy moving into it. And if you notice here, this one is already full because we pumped 3 engines at once, and that filled up extremely fast. So let's try this again. Now that we're actually looking at it. Sorry, I didn't realize those were too close to touch. So I flip this, and you'll watch it goes very quickly. Very quickly. we will turn that off. Let's do this. Turn that on again, and we'll watch them side by side. So you can see the one on the right is moving faster than the one on the left. Now, it's not 3 times because this can only move 1.6 buckets per second. I'm not sure the exact amount of power that this takes to move 1 bucket, but it's obviously less than 3. This probably isn't the optimal setup. Now we'll go take a look at some of the more utility pipes versus these extraction pipes. Over here we've got the cobblestone, stone, and quartz, which are similar to the item ones in that they and with the extraction pipes you put sealant with their item variants and it creates the fluid. And the difference is not to do with the friction and how they slow down, but at how much can actually be pumped through it per second. So cobblestone is similar to the wooden extraction pipe, 0.2, 0.4, you guessed it, 0.6, just kidding, 0.8, and then the golden ones can do 1.6, but it also accelerates the fluid, so it actually does it a lot quicker than you'd think. So if we come over here and we turn these on, these will so get it so it sets all at the same time. We'll look at wiring stuff in a separate video, but I've got them all set up here to go at the same time, and you'll see the different speeds. So also to note, it's similar to the items in that these 3 varieties do not connect, though they will connect to the gold one, because again this does acceleration of the fluids. So if I turn this on, you'll see that the gold one, again, it accelerates the fluid through there, so it actually is moving a lot quicker. But these 3 are all filling up at the same rate. So even though this one can move 0.2, 0.4, and 0.8, the wooden fluid extraction pipe at the front still can only do 0.2. So these are all still filling up at this capacity. Now, if you had 2 tanks draining into a stone pipe, it can move to its capacity, and you would need 4 into this one. Now, the gold one still does get it to the end quicker, but in the end it still fills up just fast. It'll fill up just a little quicker because the fluid's getting there quicker, but it's still only extracting at that same 0.2 per second. So if we come here, we'll take a look at the wooden diamond fluid pipe. Same setup, just with the faster, and we've got some liquid gold now. We really want to make that move quick. Now we should be able to see the difference. So these seem to be moving across the same distance, but in reality, if you notice over here, these are draining half and then 4 times as fast. And then the gold one just sucks it dry. Same rate as this one here, but it zooms it across. Now, similar to the item ones, these can also be painted. As you can see here, I have 2 quartz fluid pipes that are not connected because they are painted blue and yellow, exactly how they are with the item pipes. Also similar to this, if we come in here, we'll grab the blue paintbrush and show this off, and the plugs. So if we come in here, I can put this blue, and then they'll all connect. And if I didn't want them to connect, similar to how I do with the items, I can put the plugs in there to keep them all separated and nice. So there's a couple different methods on keeping them separate. Alright, lastly we're going to look at some more of the utility type. So we've got iron, which again, similar sealant with their item varieties. This is clay, sandstone, void, and diamond. There's no obsidian variety. You can't suck up fluids using that way. You use the pump for that. So starting with sandstone, as you can see, it's similar to its item variety. It will not connect to inventories, but it will connect to differing kinds of pipe, right? So I've got a stone and a quartz, connected with a sandstone, doesn't connect to inventory. Here we've got the iron fluid pipe, and again, similar to the item one. If you haven't watched my item video, by the way, you should go and watch it. It explains a lot of this and these basics and these caves and things. So turn this on. You'll notice here that it's going to follow the clear side of the iron. So this can have two different inputs go in the same way. If it's got different fluids, these will wait until this fluid. You can't have two different fluids in the same pipe. So, which we will show here in a little bit. But I can take this and I can change which direction this goes with a wrench or with a gate. But it'll always just flow in the one direction, right? So if we come over here, next we've got the, we're going to show up the clay. So similar to items again, and actually I think this is far more evenly distributed. The item ones, if there's an intersection, it will randomly choose between the two, and it roughly does 50%. But I think with the fluid's a lot more accurate on the 50%. But either way, just having an intersection here, it'll split it, right? If I want it to fill this one first, I use a clay fluid pipe, which means it's going to come, and if there's an inventory attached to the clay, it is going to try and insert before passing along the other direction. So wait, this should fill up, and at that point, it'll be full and it won't be able to insert, and then it will continue on to the next available direction of the pipe, right? Now if there were multiple, it would do even between them. You see now it's full, so it's going to back up, and it will move on down the line. Start filling there. Okay. Void does exactly what the other one does. We've got a bunch of residue here, so you've got a bunch of this built up. You just want to get rid of it, and that's how you can do it. Just goes off into the void. Bye bye. All right. So now we're going to look at a few different things here. We're going to look at the diamond, but we're also going to look at the, like I said, with the iron. So if I start all these up, this one's going to get here first, and these ones are going to just stop. So I'm going to stop these real quick. As you can see, it's not letting the red or the blue in because this pipe already has green. Now as soon as the green is done, it's going to let the next one in, which was blue. And this red is just going to float back and forth between these pipes because these are both insertion pipes, right? It's not going to let it through the dark end. And as soon as the blue's done, it will allow the red through. Now, the diamond fluid pipe is exactly like the diamond item pipe. You add the filters in here, and it will only allow those types of fluids to go through the different filters. So, got cobalt, iron, and emerald. Cobalt will go blue, iron red, emerald green. So if you've got pipes you want traveling down, don't want to put up a lot of fluid pipe, you just want to use the same pipe system, you can filter them out this way. And that is it for fluid pipes. There's a little bit less going on here than with the item fluid pipes, but still some powerful stuff. And there's quite a bit you can still do with the gates and such, which again, once we get to a gates video, we'll cover both the item, energy, and the fluid. And in my next video, we will cover the energy, which again, it'll be a pretty short video because there's even less than there is with the fluid. But we'll catch you then. Thank you for watching.